Welcome to today's fascinating journey into the world of rare coins. If you're a collector or simply intrigued by the history of money, you're in for a treat. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most sought-after coins from the United States, the 2000 quarter dollar. And now, we all know that quarters are among the most common coins we use daily. They're everywhere, in vending machines, in parking meters, and even rattling around in the bottom of your bag. But not all quarters are created equal. Some are worth just a few quarters, but others? Well, they can be worth thousands, and even tens of thousands of dollars. Let's set the stage with a little history lesson. In 1999, the United States Mint began a series of special state quarters. These quarters were designed to honor each of the 50 states, and the program was incredibly popular. It's no surprise that collectors jumped on board, trying to grab a piece of history with each new state coin. But what happens when a coin doesn't just represent a state, but also carries some unexpected rarity? That's where the 2000 quarter dollar comes into play. The 2000 quarter was released as part of the series that highlighted the state of South Carolina. The design features a striking depiction of a palmetto tree and a crescent moon, which is an iconic symbol of the state's history. At first glance, this coin seems just like any other state quarter, doesn't it? Well, not quite. There's something unique about this specific coin that sets it apart from all the others. Now, here's where the story takes an exciting twist. Most of the time, we think of coins as being worth face value, 25 cents, in the case of the quarter. But there are exceptions to this rule, and the 2000 South Carolina quarter is one of them. In certain conditions, this coin can fetch a pretty penny, much more than what you might think it's worth. And we're not just talking about a couple of bucks here and there. One of the key factors that contributes to the value of this coin is the error it contains. You see, not all of these quarters were struck perfectly. Some of them had a special, rare error that gives them immense value. This error, which involves a misalignment or some form of double die, makes these quarters highly desirable among collectors. Collectors often seek out these coins, specifically looking for that unique error that could increase its worth. They scour coin shows, online auctions, and even visit local banks, hoping to find one of these valuable quarters tucked away among the ordinary ones. And when they do, it's like striking gold. But the rarity isn't the only thing that makes this quarter so special. It also plays into the broader appeal of collecting coins from the state quarter series. As the years go by, certain coins, especially those with mistakes or rare features, become increasingly valuable. Coin collectors around the world are on the lookout for these rare gems, and the 2000 South Carolina quarter with the error is one that stands out. You might be asking, how much is this coin worth, exactly? Well, the answer is that its worth can vary significantly based on its condition and the specific error it has. In general, most of the 2000 South Carolina quarters are worth only a small amount over face value. However, if you happen to find one with a rare mistake or it's in pristine condition, you could be looking at a substantial increase in its worth. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. In certain cases, the 2000 quarter dollar with the error can be worth as much as $73,000. That's right, $73,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. The discovery of just one of these coins could change a collector's life forever. So, next time you reach into your pocket for some spare change, be sure to take a closer look at those quarters. You never know, one of them could be worth far more than just a quarter. Top 2 today, we're going to explore one of those very coins, the 2002 United States quarter dollar. This particular coin has some hidden value, and if you're lucky enough to find one with the right features, you could be holding on to a treasure worth thousands of dollars. Let's take a step back and understand why this 2002 quarter is so special. As many of you know, each year, the U.S. Mint releases various quarters that represent different states and territories. The state quarter program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, was a major hit among collectors. The designs on these quarters feature symbols and landmarks that represent each state. The 2002 quarter dollar was part of this series, with a unique design celebrating the state of Ohio. This coin, featuring a depiction of an astronaut in a space shuttle, marks Ohio's contributions to space exploration, thanks to the famous astronaut John Glenn. At first glance, the 2002 Ohio quarter might not seem too remarkable. It's just one of many state-themed quarters circulating in the country. But don't let its appearance fool you. There's a hidden feature in some of these coins that makes them stand out, and that feature is what collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. The key to the value of these quarters lies in a rare error that some of them possess. It's not the design that makes this coin valuable, but the mistake that occurred during production. Some of these 2002 Ohio quarters were struck with what's called a double die error. This means that the image on the coin was stamped twice, which causes a slight misalignment of the design. This error is difficult to spot, but once you know what to look for, it's a collector's dream. So, how do you spot a double die error? It's not something you'll notice immediately unless you examine the coin carefully. If you take a magnifying glass and look closely at the lettering or numbers, you may see a slight shadow or a doubling effect. It's most noticeable around the word Liberty and the date 2002. In some cases, the doubling is so subtle that it requires a keen eye or even a microscope to identify it. But when you do spot it, you're looking at something truly rare. Now, what makes these double die error coins so valuable? The simple answer is rarity. Errors like these don't happen often, and when they do, they don't last long. The U.S. Mint usually catches these mistakes fairly quickly, so the coins that make it out into circulation are limited. Over time, this scarcity makes them increasingly valuable to collectors, especially those who specialize in error coins. The more people learn about the potential worth of these coins, the higher the demand becomes. But it's not just any 2002 Ohio quarter with a double die error that will fetch a high price. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A coin in mint condition, with minimal wear and tear, is far more valuable than one that's been circulated and shows signs of damage. A coin that has been well preserved and is in near-perfect condition could be worth much more than a worn-out one, even if both feature the same error. So, how much can a 2002 quarter with a double die error actually be worth? Well, the price can vary depending on the coin's condition and the severity of the error. However, in some cases, this quarter can be worth an astounding $71,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $71,000. That's the potential value of just one of these rare, error-filled coins. Now, you might be thinking, how can I tell if I found one of these valuable coins? The key is to carefully check any 2002 Ohio quarters you come across. Whether they're sitting in your change jar, hiding in a drawer, or even showing up in your pocket, take a moment to inspect them. If you see any signs of a double die error, you could be holding a small fortune. So, the next time you're sifting through your change, remember that what seems like just a regular quarter might actually be much more valuable than you think. With the right error, the 2002 quarter dollar can turn from a simple piece of currency into a treasure worth $71,000. Keep an eye out, because sometimes, luck is just a quarter away. Top 3 today, we're going to talk about a coin that could change your perspective on pocket change forever, the 2008 United States quarter dollar. And now, we all know the quarter. It's a coin we use every day, whether it's for a vending machine, a laundromat, or even just the change you get after buying your morning coffee. Most quarters are just worth 25 cents, right? Well, here's the exciting part. Not all quarters are worth their face value. Some, like the 2008 quarter dollar, have hidden potential that could make them worth a lot more. Let's rewind for a moment and take a look at the 2008 quarter in context. The U.S. Mint, in an effort to celebrate the 50 states, had been issuing state quarters for almost a decade, and 2008 marked the final year of this popular program. In 2008, the Mint released 5 different state quarters, each representing a state's unique history and identity. These 5 states were Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, Alaska, and Hawaii. The designs on these coins were rich in symbolism and showcased the pride and heritage of each state, but the focus of today's story isn't just about these state designs, it's about something that makes the 2008 quarter dollar special, and it has everything to do with a specific error that occurred during the minting process. You see, some of the 2008 quarters didn't come out as expected. A rare error caused some of them to be struck with what's called a die crack, a small, yet highly noticeable flaw that can make a coin far more valuable than you might imagine. A die crack happens when the minting die, the tool used to imprint the design on the coin, starts to wear out and develops a crack. When the coin is struck, the crack shows up as an imperfection in the design. These die cracks are often hard to spot, but when they do appear, they make the coin stand out to collectors, as they are considered to be a minting error. The 2008 quarter dollar is especially famous for this kind of flaw, and it's one of the main reasons why certain 2008 quarters are worth so much more than their face value. Collectors and numismatists, people who study and collect coins, are always on the lookout for these types of errors. They understand that a coin with a unique flaw, like a die crack, is rare, and rarity is what drives a coin's value up. The 2008 quarters with these die cracks are highly sought after because they represent something unusual, something different from the everyday quarters we see in our pockets. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these valuable coins? The answer is simple: pay close attention to any 2008 quarters you come across. Look closely at the edge of the design, particularly around the lettering or the state symbol. A die crack typically appears as a thin, irregular line running across the design or lettering, often making the coin appear as if it has a faint split or tear in the design. The more noticeable and defined the crack is, the more valuable the coin becomes, but remember, condition matters. Coins that are in pristine condition are worth far more than those that are worn or damaged. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it will be. Coins that are well preserved, free of scratches or discoloration, and with minimal wear on the design are the ones that will fetch the highest prices from collectors. So, you might be asking yourself, how much can a 2008 quarter dollar with a die crack actually be worth? Well, the value can vary depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. But in the case of particularly rare and well-preserved examples, some of these quarters have been known to sell for as much as $70,000. That's right, $70,000. It's hard to believe that a simple 25-cent coin could hold such an incredible value, but it's true. Now, before you go digging through your change jar, remember that finding one of these coins takes a bit of luck and a lot of attention to detail. But if you're lucky enough to spot one of these rare, error-filled 2008 quarters, you could be holding onto a small fortune. So, next time you reach for a quarter, think twice. It might just be more than pocket change, it could be the key to unlocking a treasure worth $70,000. Happy coin hunting!